The Jeff Lebby era begins at Mississippi State in 2024. Can he turn things around here in Starkville? Before we get to the game-by-game predictions, we'll first start with just some thoughts on this team. I do believe, it's interesting you go from Zach Arnett, who's a defensive mind, to Jeff Lebby, an offensive mind. I mean, it's just a complete reversal, and if you're expecting them to make a big jump and turn things around in year one, I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. I don't see that happening. I do think that the offense will be better. Jeff Lebby, I think, is really maybe even an underrated offensive mind. Top 10, maybe even top 5 offensive mind in all of college football, in my opinion. I think he's going to do wonders for them. But do they have the personnel right now to go up against SEC defenses and really challenge them? I don't know. I think they'll be better. I think they'll score some points. I think it'll be a decent offense, but I don't expect them to go out there and, again, be able to put up points on those elite defenses in the SEC. And then you look at the defense, that's where I'm really concerned about Mississippi State. I think they're going to be really bad. Other than Vanderbilt, this might be the worst defense in the SEC this season. Again, you look at the returning production, what they've got coming back, and again, just the change from a defensive-minded head coach to an offensive-minded head coach, the emphasis, it just makes you think that the defense is probably going to struggle. We'll see, but that's just my initial thoughts here. Blake Shapen stepping in at quarterback, I think, is going to do pretty well for them. And again, I think the offense will be pretty good, but the defense is going to be the problem, and that's what's going to hold them back. And then the schedule is also going to be a major problem. Take a look at this schedule. It's one of the tougher ones in the SEC, really in all of college football, actually. They play Florida, Texas, Georgia, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, Ole Miss. Really no easy wins in the SEC, although there are no easy wins in the SEC besides maybe Vanderbilt. But they do start with Eastern Kentucky, so they should get a win in that game. And then you got Arizona State next on the road. I think a lot of people just look at this as, Arizona State's not great. Mississippi State's an SEC team. They're going to win this game. I don't think so. I actually think Arizona State's a better football team, and they have an established head coach. They have a lot of players coming back. I think Arizona State's actually a better team. Plus, they're playing at home. Mississippi State having to travel out to Arizona. I like Arizona State to get this win, and I haven't seen a spread for this game. I kind of think Mississippi State will be favored, again, just because of the SEC and all that, but I actually like Arizona State to pull off the upset. Toledo up next. Watch out for this one. This is not going to be an easy win for Mississippi State. I could see them losing this game. Toledo, one of those teams out of the MAC that you just don't want to play. So I think this game does wind up being really close. I think it's a hard-fought win, but I do like Mississippi State to pull it out late. And if they lose that game, boy, it could be double-digit losses for the Bulldogs. Florida up next, September 21st. I think they've got a shot in this game. Florida's going to have a really tough schedule early this season. You wonder about, will they be banged up? What will they be like going into this game? Mississippi State, with those cowbells, they're going to have a chance. But I do think Florida is the better team overall here. And I think Florida finds a way to win. But it's another close one. And again, it would not surprise me if Mississippi State beat Florida, but they lost to Toledo. I really could see that happening. But a 2-2 start either way, that's what I see for this team. But, I mean, you go through the rest of the schedule. Texas, I mean, they've got no shot in that game on the road. Georgia, they've got no shot in that game on the road. Those are going to be very, very tough. This could be 30-point wins or 30-point losses for Mississippi State. I think they lose those two for sure. Texas A&M, could they pull off a big upset? Maybe this is a spot where they could get one. But I just don't see it happening. I think Texas A&M, just a more complete football team, a much better, more talented team. I got to go with the Aggies. Arkansas, another spot where maybe Mississippi State could get a win. I think Arkansas's offense is going to be improved a lot this year, and I just think they're going to be way ahead of where Mississippi State is defensively, and so I do think they're better. But the game is in Starkville, so this is actually one that I went back and forth on. At one point, I had Mississippi State, but and when it came down to making my predictions, when I did the Arkansas video, I decided to go Arkansas. So Razorbacks get this one. And it's one of those things, if I had done Mississippi State's video first, I probably would have picked Mississippi State. And it's just the way it goes. But I'm going to go with the loss there. I think they beat UMass after that. Then you've got Tennessee next on the road. A high-scoring game, more than likely. But Tennessee is just a better football team. I mean, there's not a lot to say here. These teams that they're playing are just a lot better than them. And then you got Missouri next. They're going to be really, really good. That's going to be a tough one. I don't see them winning that game. And then in the Egg Bowl, You know, a lot of times the underdogs win. This game can be unpredictable, but I just don't see that being the case this year. Ole Miss just way too good. Mississippi State loses that game. They finish 3-9. Then again, you look at Florida and you look at Arkansas. Those are the games that I'm circling if I'm a Mississippi State fan, that maybe you could get a win. If you're going to get a win in the SEC, I think it's going to be one of those two games. If they were to win both of those games and then beat Arizona State on the road, I think that's the path to a bowl game, but I just don't see them winning those games. I think 4-8 is possible, but again, they could lose to Toledo and they could go 2-9 or 2-10, I should say. So I'm going with 3-9 for Mississippi State. Give me your predictions for the Bulldogs down in the comments below.